I took these pictures at the Peabody Essex Museum, and I used the Sigma 18 to 50 millimeter for a Sony camera. It has macro-like capabilities. So this first picture was taken of a large mural. I mean, it was floor to ceiling large, and so this particular portion of it is maybe a couple of inches in length and width, at least just this very section. All right, so this whole mural tells a story, and the reason I wanted to do this kind of picture or this kind of perspective is that when I walk through a museum, quite often I missed a lot of small details that the artist or the renderer did deliberately, went through painstaking efforts to get it to look a certain way or to convey a certain message. And I'm not sure what the message is here, but I think it's really interesting, the amount of detail that's here. And if you walk through this room, then there's so much to see, you'll probably miss all the details. These guys are looking at something, the hands aren't properly formed, but you know, this is just a tiny portion of a wall full of images like this, and there's sounds and all kinds of lighting, special effects, and it's really cool. All right, so I'm gonna let me look at it before and after. This is after I use Lightroom auto features, and that's pretty good. I would increase the contrast a little bit. I think that's pretty interesting as it is. Let me try the details. Now, it's not going to get much sharper because, like I said, this is just a small portion of an entire wall of mural. Let me try this. All right, I think that looks pretty good. All right, and this is of the top floor of the museum. Now, the museum is supposedly I hope I get this right. It's the oldest continuously collecting museum in America. I think I'm saying that right. All right, so this is from the top floor, looking all the way over to the statue that's over here. And I think it was a cool shot. Let me see what I would do differently. Maybe I didn't need to include any more of this section here that's above the, let me call this. But all this doesn't add anything of interest to the picture, but down here does. So I would have included more below the level of the statue and less above this roof area here. I think it's pretty cool. It's a cool shot. That was my intent. All right, this is also a small section of a piece that was in the museum, and it just shows a cow's, I think it's a cow's head, maybe a goat, I'm not sure, but easily missed if you're walking to the museum. And this was just on one of those displays that has a lot of tiny structures on it, and the amount of detail and color that's done. This is about a coin's the size of a quarter here, and I just focus on the one that's in front. This is of this thing we would call a gig in Jamaica, or a spinning top, I think. And it's tiny though, really, really tiny. So maybe the size of my thumb or my thumbnail was really, really tiny. Let me see what I can do. Yeah, so I focused on this, and I thought it was really a cool picture. But what I would do differently is maybe zoom in even more, because this doesn't add any context. This yellow bit here, a little bit distracting in my view. And this one was of a glass bowl that was just being backlit, and I just took a zoomed in picture of a part of it. So imagine this whole glass bowl is just beautiful, and I just took a small bit. But if you're in a museum, again, just take your time and look at some of the details of some of these pieces. All right, now this one was actually in a room where this is, and it's kind of hard to explain. I'm going to try anyways. So this piece is a huge black square box about the size of a small room, and there's a one light bulb that's in the middle of it, and it's illuminating this larger room that it's in. This larger room is maybe, I'm gonna say, maybe 40 feet by 40 feet, I think, and this is maybe 8 by 8. This whole black metal, I think it's metal. In any case, on the side of the wall, so this is the wall on the far side, and for this picture I just took a picture of a corner of it and I zoomed in, and that's the wall on the far side. And then for this one, this was just my kid and I were standing and taking a picture of our shadow on the wall as it was projected from this bulb that's in here. So let's see what we can do. That's not too bad. I don't think I need, let me drop the blacks a little bit. Actually, I think that's better. I think that's better. All right. And then actually, I always like shadow pictures because, you know what I would have done differently? I would have gotten less headroom here. So maybe like this. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I think that's cool as it is. And then this one, like I said, is just a corner of the box. So this is going to be black no matter what. But I think it's just cool to have this shot with just a corner of it. Now, what I would have done differently is make it more symmetrical, but maybe it wouldn't look real. But this side of it, I have more of the length than the height. So maybe I would have gotten more of the height of it, so it looks more like this. Yeah, I think so. Let me see if I could even make this a little different. If I think that could have, let me make this smaller. Yeah, something like that would have worked fine, I think. Let me see how that looks. Maybe. Like what I was trying to do just now is trying to get it so this lined up. The corners of this angle, this box, line up with this one and the outside all the way to the edge of the frame. I guess I could play with it a little bit. Yeah, but it's not a bad picture. I liked it for I was trying to go for some symmetry here, but you know, I think it works. And the last one for this video is of a chariot that's made of wood. Now these are small patterns, so this is tiny. I think my hand could wrap around this thing. It was so tiny. But look at the detail of these carvings, man. And just imagine this is a whole chariot that somebody could sit in. I think it's a chariot you could carry somebody in. This is in the Asian section of the museum. And I think it's just beautiful, the amount of effort it took to carve these in here. Now just imagine you walk through this museum and you'll probably not even look at this. So that's my intent, to highlight some details that we would otherwise miss in museums. All right, take it easy.